Welcome. Let's begin with functions of string object. First one is len, which returns the length of the string. So if we have s1 equal to hello python as a string, and if you want to take length of the string, we will write length, and inside it we will provide the string object. And if we execute it, it will print the length of the string, means how many characters are in the string. Next method is capitalize. It returns the string which contains the first letter of the string is capitalized and all the other character of the string in small case. Suppose we have a string like this which contains small and caps letter mixed, and if we execute it, capitalize method, it will capitalize first word and rest of the word will be in the small caps. Okay, so let's execute it. As we can see here, the string is not capitalized. Why? Because string is immutable object, so any operation on the string object, it will not change its value. So if we want to change the variable value, we need to change the pointer to a new object. Okay, we cannot modify existing string object. So what we will do is we will give the result of the capitalize method to the another variable or to the same variable, which means the s3 variable will point to the new object of string which holds the result of capitalize method. So if we execute it, we will be able to see the result which contains only first letter as a capital and rest of the words are in small letter. Okay, so in this case our s2 variable remains same, but we want to modify the same variable. We need to write it as a s2 equal to s2 dot capitalize. Okay, so what it will do is it will create another string object which will capitalize first letter and rest of the words are small, and memory address of that new object will be stored again into the variable s2. So if we print it again, it will print new value. Okay, but that object is immutable string object. Next method is find. It returns the lowest index of matching string. Okay, so if we have a string like today is Sunday, it's rainy outside, and we want to find out the index of first occurrence of is. Okay, so with using find method we can find it. So what we need to write is s3 means string variable dot find, and inside we will give substring to find. Okay, so if we execute it, if it will return the index of first occurrences of substring. In this string there is 2 times is. Okay, but it will pick up the first substring is that we are finding. So what if the given substring is not in the string? It will return -1. Okay, it also accepts 2 other arguments, start and end. So it will search only between those indexes also. So suppose we want in this string, if we want to search only within first 10 characters. Okay, so we will write s3.find the substring which we want to find, start index and the end index in the string. So if we execute it, it will print 6, same as searching into the substring 0 to 10 as we saw earlier using slice function. Okay, and next example is it will look for after the 10th character, beginning from the 10th character and up to the end of the string. So if we execute it, it will print, it will take the second is, because from the 10th character it is the first occurrences at the 20. Keep that in mind, is that index that is returned by the find method is the index of original string, not the substring or the indexes within the indexes which we are providing as a start and end. Next is in. In is a membership operator. So for string we can check whether the substring is within the given string is exist or does not exist. Okay, so same string we have, and if we want to check that is the is substring exist in S3 or not, so we can write it as substring which is in S3, so it will return true or false. So if you execute it, it will return true because is exist in S3, and if it search for was, it will return false because it does not exist in given string. Next method is index. It is same as find method, but it will raise value error if the substring is not found. Okay, so if we execute it, as you can see, first occurrence is finding is, so it will return 6. If we search for was, it will raise the value error, and after that it will not execute any statements. Okay, and for start and end parameter it works same as find method. Okay, so as you can see, if we search within 0 to 10, it will print 6 for is, and after 10 if we search, it finds the is at the index 20, which is the second occurrence of is in the string. Okay, next method is upper, which returns the string variable into uppercase. So if we execute it, as we can see, all the letters are in uppercase. Next method is lowercase. It returns string into the lowercase string. As you can see, all the words are in lowercase. Next method is count. It counts the given substring, how many times the given substring occurs into the string. Okay, so we will take the same string, and we will, if we count the occurrences of is, it should print as 2. As expected, it prints the count as a 2. It also has two optional arguments, start and end. Start and end defines same meaning as the index is range of indexes within which this function is to be applied. Okay, so if we want to apply the count function within the range of 0 to 10, we will provide the optional argument start and end after the substring. So if we execute it, it will print only once, because within the first 10 characters is occurring only once. Okay, same goes for after 10 index 10 to the end of the string, is occurring only once. Next method is rfind. Okay, so we are finding from the right hand side. So earlier we saw the find method, which was returning the first occurrences of the given substring, index of first occurrence of given substring. Now rfind will find from the right hand side, so it will return the last occurrences of given substring. So it will return highest index of matching substring. So we will take the same string, and if we apply rfind for string substring is, it should return index 20. Okay, at the 20 the last occurrences of is occur, so it will look from the end of the string, and whichever is the first occurrences of substring, it will return the index of that substring. And for the substring which is not in the given string, it will return same -1. It also has the start and end index, meaning is the same. Okay, so if we look for the first 10 character, it will return 6, because from the end also it is at the index of 6. Next method is startswith. It will check that given string is beginning with the substring or not. Okay, so for the same string, if we check that S3, does it start with today, so it will return true. If we check it for tomorrow, it will return false, as we can see the result. It has also start and end optional parameter, which has meaning the same. Okay, so in this case we have given the index from which it should start looking for the beginning of the string. So okay, so this is the 17th character, 17th index, not the 17th character, but it occurs at the 17 index. So if we check with it string which 15, beginning from 15, it begins with it or not. Okay, so if we check it, it will return true. And if we check it with other string such as was from the 17th character, then it will return false. Okay, from the 17th character it starts with it. Next method is endswith. Endswith checks the given substring, does the given substring ends with the within the string. So for the same string, it ends with umbrella and full stop. So if we check with does it ends with umbrella full stop, it should return true. Okay, and it has start and end as an optional parameter, which works as a beginning index and the end index in which this function should be applied. So if we execute with 0 to 16 index, so at the 16 index, does it ends with Sunday, so it will return as a true, because between index 0 to 16, Sunday and full stop is a last substring. Next method is replace. It replaces the old substring with given new substring. Okay, suppose we have a string that I am learning Java. Java is most powerful language and Java is object oriented, and we want to replace substring Java with Python. Okay, so we will just write string variable dot replace old string which exists in the string which is Java and the substring which we want to replace. Okay, so if we print it, as we can see, wherever Java is, it will be replaced with Python. Okay, it has an optional argument count which restrict the number of replacement. So suppose we want to only replace first two occurrences of given substring, then we will provide the third optional argument which will only replace the first two occurrences of old string with the new string. So as we can see, it will replace first and second occurrences of Java, and it will leave the third occurrences and beyond with the same. Okay, next method is strip. Strip will remove white spaces from the right hand side and the left hand side of the string. So suppose your string contains white spaces from in begin, in or at the end of it, you can use it. So if you print it, as we can see, it is having some spaces before and afterwards, and after stripping it won't have any white spaces. Okay, strip function, we can not only remove the white spaces, but the custom character can also be removed. Okay, so we can also pass the characters which we want to strip from the beginning or the end. Okay, so for the given string this, we want to strip these many characters. Okay, so dot greater than hash and space and dash, we want to remove any of the character occurring at the beginning or the end of it. So if we execute it, it will remove all these characters also with this space. Okay, it will not remove this special character if they are occurring in between. Okay, so suppose we also provide the comma here, it will not remove the given characters within the string, but if it is occurring at the beginning or at the end, it will be removed. Okay, so this comma will be removed and this should be persisted. So let's execute. As we can see, the character given within the strip function occurring at the beginning or at the end are removed, but within the strings are preserved as it is. Okay, next method is rstrip, which only removes the spaces at the right hand side only. Okay, so it will leave the white spaces at the left hand side as it is. Okay, same goes for the special characters also. It will remove from the right hand side, but left hand side left as it is. Same for the lstrip, it removes from the left and leave as it is at the right hand side. So if we execute all together, as we can see, it removes from the white spaces from the left hand side and leave the white spaces at same as it is in the right hand side. For the custom character also, it has removed from the left hand side and left as it is in the right hand side. Next method is expandtab. So if you have given /t within the string, it will replace it /t with the tab space. Okay, so let's execute. As you can see here, /t is replaced with the tab space. Next method is split. Okay, it has two arguments. First one is a separator. Separator is a substring through which we can separate the multiple string within the given string. Okay, so suppose we have a string which is separated with comma. Okay, so comma becomes our separator of the separator as a string. Okay, so we will provide comma as a scp. Okay, but we can use any of the separator. It may be having more than one character also. Okay, so if we have comma separated values of string and we want these values to be separate string, okay, so we can use split method, which will split the string at the given separator. So result will be the list of string. Okay, so let's execute it. So as we can see, all the items separated by all the animals are separated within new string, so they are all in separate string. Okay, and they are written in the list. Okay, make split restrict the number of splits which are splitted when the string is splitted. Okay, so in this case, how many times it will split is the count of given separator in the string. Okay, so it will split 1, 2, 3 and 4 times. So if we provide max split to 3, it will only split the 3 times only. Okay, so last comma will not be split and it will be written the remaining string as it is. It will only split 3 times. Okay, next method is join. Now to reverse it, we have a list of string and we want to join with the some separator. Okay, in this case we want to join it with the comma. Okay, so we will give separator, which is a separator dot join, and within join method we will provide the list of string. Okay, so if we execute it, all the separate strings are combined into the single string. Okay, we can use any separator. So suppose we want to use separator comma plus 1 space, and if we execute it, it will join with comma and 1 space. Okay, next method is split lines. So as we saw earlier, Python allows multi-line string which contains built-in new line characters. Okay, and from that new line character, if you want to split separate string, we can use split lines method, which will split the line as from the new line character. So from this multi-line string, if you execute split line, it will return list of strings, and each string is a line of multi-line string. Okay, it has one optional argument, keep ends, which will preserve the new line character within the line. Okay, so if we pass it as a value true, by default it is false, which will not include new line character into the string, and if we pass it to true, it will include that /n, which is new line character within the result strings. Next method is casefold. it returns the string which is suitable for caseless comparison. So if we have three strings, suppose like this, which is containing the same value hello world but in different case later, then if we compare those string, it will return false. Okay, now this, if we compare with the casefold method, it will convert it into the lower case, and then if we will compare it, it will return true. Okay, next method is title. It returns the string with each word of a string starting with the capital letter. So if the hello world is a string, and if we execute the title method, it, as we can see, H and W is made a title case. Okay, next method is a partition. It takes one argument as a separator which splits the given string at the first occurrence of the separator and returns three string. First string is a string before the separator, second string is a separator itself, and the third string is the string after the separator. So suppose this is the string, and if we execute with the separator, comma and space, it should partition string at the first occurrence of the separator here, and it should return the three string. As we can see, it partitions the string at this first occurrence of separator. So this is the string before that separator, this is separator itself, and this is the string which is after the separator. Next method is rpartition. It is same as the partition method, but it starts searching for the separator from the right hand side. So it's starting from the end of the strings. Okay, so if it will find this is at the as the first occurrence of the separator. Let's execute it. Yes, as we can see, it will split the string at the first occurrence of the separator, which is from the end of the string, and this is the string before the separator, after the separator, and the separator itself. Next method is swapcase, which will swap the case. If the character of a string is in a lower case, then it will convert into uppercase, and if it is in uppercase, it will convert it into the lowercase. As you can see, lowercase string is fully converted into uppercase, and for each uppercase letter, it is converted into lower, and vice versa. Okay. Next method is maketrans. Okay, so maketrans returns a translation table which is used for translation method that we will see the next. So it returns the mapping of ordinal values. Okay, ordinal value is of each character. Okay, so it has two constructor. First one takes the two string. Okay, so in the maketrans method, we need to provide two string for each of the character. It will take second character of the string as a translation. So for this given string, A will be translated to X, B will be translated to Y, and C will be translated to Z. Okay, so if we execute it, it will return a translation table in ordinal value. Also, we can say this is the ASCII character value. Okay, so because this is ASCII value, we can see the ASCII character value. This table or mapping is passed to the translation method. Okay, next constructor is which takes the mapping of the character itself. Okay, given into the map. So this is a key value. Okay, so from A will be converted to X. Okay, if you execute it, it will return output like this. Okay, next is a translate method itself, okay, which translate the character of strings according to the provided translation. So we will generate first the translation table using maketrans method and pass it to the translate method. Okay, so first of all we will generate translation table for a to a will be translated to x, b to y, and c to z. Okay, and this is our string which we want to translate. So other character will remain as it is because of no translation is provided for them. So if we execute it, a, b, and c, as we can see, is translated to x, y, and z. Okay. Now next topic is validation function. So Python contains methods which validates the given string. Okay, so first method is alphanumeric, which will check whether the given string is alphanumeric or not. So it should contain only alphabets and the numbers, no special character or any white spaces. Okay, so any white spaces and special character will result into the false. So if we execute, as you can see, alphanumeric values are only allowed. Next method is alpha, which only allows alphabet. Any special character or space will return into the false, as we can see here. Next is a decimal value. It checks that whether the given string contains only the decimal value. Anything else than decimal value will result in false. Okay. Now isdigit value, it returns true if the string is digit, so it will include Unicode character also. Okay, so for Unicode characters, which is a 2 raised to 2, it should return true. Okay, but for fraction it will not return as a digit. Okay, for that isnumeric value is used. Okay, so it returns true if your string contains numeric value. So for all this value, if you want to validate it, the numeric value is a function to be used. So it will also include the Unicode fractions also. Okay, so it will return true for all these strings type. Next method is isidentifier. So as we saw, the variable names, same rules are applied for the given string. Okay, so it will check that whether the given string is a valid identifier in the Python or not. So as you can see, this is a valid identifier as per the variable name rules. As we saw earlier, this is invalid variable name and this is valid variable name, so it should return false for the second variable name because it is an invalid identifier. Islower will check that whether the string is in lowercase or not. As you can see, it will return true for the lowercase string. Next is isupper. It will return true for the uppercase string. Next is a title, istitle. It will check that whether the given string is in title case or not. As we can see, it will return true for the title case string. Ispace. Okay, so it will check that whether the given string contain only the white spaces or not. If any other character than white space is present, it will return false. So as we can see, first string contains only white spaces and second string contains extra character then white space, then it will return false. Next method is isprintable. It returns true if all the character of a string is printable. Okay, so in this example, S1 is hello world, contains ASCII character only, which contains all the character is printable, but that may not be the case for all the strings. So for that, if the any of the character is not printable, it will return false. Okay, next method is ASCII. It returns true if all the character of a strings are ASCII character. So in this example, S1 contains all character in ASCII and S2 contains a character which is Unicode. So it will return false because it does not contain all the character as ASCII. Okay, next topic is a string formatting function. First is a center, which centers the string with given width by appending spaces to left and the right of the given string. Okay, so it contains two arguments. Width is a mandatory argument and optional argument is a fill character. Okay, so instead of centering with spaces, we can give any other character also. Okay, so if we execute it, okay, so it will create a length of 20 for given string by appending, as we can see the character here are 20 characters, but it has appended white space to the left and the right hand side of the string. Okay, and optional character we can provide the fill character. Okay, so it will fill the given character to make the string center with given width. Okay, next method is ljust, which left justifies the given string by appending fill character to adjust the width. Okay, so it has also two arguments. So if we give only width, it will append white spaces to right hand side of the given string. Okay, and if we provide the fill character, it will fill instead of white spaces. Okay, same as ljust, right justify will right justify the given string and appending the fill character. Okay, as we can see here, it will make the length of the given string to 7 by appending white spaces to left hand side. Okay, and if we provide fill character, it will append that fill character to left hand side to make right justify. Okay, next method is zfill, which appends the 0 to the left hand side of to match the given width. Okay, suppose these are the two string we have and we want to make it width to the 7, and if you execute it, as you can see the output, it will append this 0 and it also takes care of the sign bit also. Okay, so it will not append after the sign. So for numeric string, the zfill value zfill method is useful.